Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Um, so the last time that we did a session, I don't remember who you spoke with.
The creators.
The creators. Okay. So I'm assuming you want to speak with them again.
Uh, Actually, I want to speak with the Acturians.
Arcturians. Okay. Very
Yeah.
good. Definitely doable. All right. And it's a 75-minute session, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we might as well get started.
Yeah. And that's something. You know how you do tones to get into the channeling phase?
Yeah.
So what I want to request is make the Acturians do overtones that are for the intention of source energy just pouring all out, like with its entirety
Okay.
in this experience, that intention.
Okay. Sounds good. Greetings. We are the ARCTURIAN Council. We are pleased to connect with you. Yes.
Hi. So my
Yes.
so my first question is, I try to sometimes go for a really extreme emotion, an extremely positive emotion,
Yeah.
and I could sometimes get the subtlety, and sometimes I could even get the emotion of the extreme positive feeling
Yeah.
right off the bat. I could get it sometimes. Uh, I want to know what causes me to get it right off the bat in certain scenarios, and in certain scenarios I could be hours on end and not get it off the bat.
Well, it depends upon your starting point. In other words, what you are feeling as you go into one of these attempts for a very high frequency emotion, that will determine the distance, so to speak, that you have to travel to get from point A to point B.
Okay, now but I've heard from one of the channelers within your one of the channeling.
Yes.
Like I don't know who it was, Archangel Michael or someone, right? They said that if you keep at it, if you if you make it more than a fleeting thought, like if you keep at it with your intention, you could be in the utterly most negative place, and if you just continue going at it with your intention and your focus, eventually it's gonna, and your breath is gonna get into that place. So I'm not saying it would be a really fun skill to have, to be able
Yes.
to get to anything just by a little focus. Maybe all it takes is less than 20 minutes of focus to get there.
Well,
And
it's always going to be difficult to quantify in terms of time how long it's going to take you, because of course it is possible for you to move from any state of being to any other state of being, but whether it takes 20 minutes or 20 hours depends on a variety of factors, including how many layers of the lower frequency stuff needs to be worked through on your way to the state of bliss that you desire to experience.
okay, so the creators also told me about breathing, and breathing will naturally bring any negative emotion into one of positive uh, emotion. Like, is that in a certain amount of, is that within a certain amount of time, or like breathing with the intention to raise your vibration
Yes.
while you're in a negative state? But you could also, within the negative vibration, you could embrace it, you could accept it, and
Yes.
you could just yeah, just, it's there for a reason, accept it and just make the most of it.
Yes. Yes,
So
we
much,
agree with all of that, but we cannot give you a time frame because negative implies that you are just somewhere below the point of neutrality. So that could mean that you're in abject fear or absolute despair and suicidal, or it could mean that you're a little anxious. So it really depends upon where you're starting from. But the breath is always going to help. And also the conditions under which you've put yourself in this experience of shifting. So if you are still in the middle of the circumstance that's causing the abject fear, in other words, if you're in a house where there's someone with a knife who is trying to get you, then yes, you are going to need to get away from that experience first and get into a safe place before you can even start a process like that.
yeah,
And that's an extreme example, but we just want you to know that for some, the fear-inducing circumstance is not necessarily going away just because they are participating in some conscious breathing and the desire to shift that energy. Sometimes it takes some physical action as well to relieve yourself of a situation so that you can be in a place where you are ready to do some work on yourself, so to speak.
okay. So I have some decisions to make, and I know the best place to start is vibration, and
Yeah.
so and it doesn't even have to be a rush decision. It could be attitudinal, anything, even the health circumstances could be attitudinal. It could be me vibrating. It's not like it's anything severe. It's just discomfort and me not being myself all the time. Not myself. It's just me fearing what others think, and
Yeah.
not even fearing. It's just I don't feel comfortable, even if I could achieve exuberant stance, a triggerless, flinchless exuberant stance. Most likely, I wouldn't be doing it because of my comfort level within the family. So that's just how it is. But like I could get myself from the point of not being comfortable, not being comfortable to a point of being comfortable, and not make a big deal of what people think. I could get to that
Yes.
place as well.
Yes. Yes. Ultimately, from a place of neutrality, you can go anywhere you want. You don't have to hold the highest possible frequency state like a shield to keep you from anything that would disrupt that place, that state of being.
So I attempt. I just read a phrase from the Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael. It says, "We are not asking you to reach for ecstasy, love, joy, excitement, or any other frequency that would be a stretch for you to encounter given circumstances that are not to your liking. Seeking satisfaction is like seeking the calm, the relaxed state of being."
Yes. Yes.
So I even I intuitively know that's where it's at, the calm, that will naturally get me within to more higher frequency vibrations
Yes.
naturally, and I'll be deep within the vortex just by plucking the string of calm, activating calm.
Yes.
So I realize this, but like I also want to at the same time be very good at the process of getting to anything quickly, any state quickly.
Well, what you're saying to us essentially is that you're looking to become a master. And mastery is something that you accomplish with practice. The more practice, the more mastery you attain. It's the same with anything in life that you want to master. The more you do it, the better you are at it. So the more you give this your attention and place your focus upon it, the better you are going to become at shifting from one energy to another.
Yeah, the calm vibration I could get within seconds.
Yes.
It's easy for me to get that vibration, and yeah,
Very good.
things will be naturally, but not. I want to milk the calm vibration because I feel that sometimes I just do it to emanate the vibration, but rather than just vibrating calm, vibrate it and just milk it wholly. Like, I mean, that's what I want to do, and then not even focus on, well, will this become a bigger vibration? Just
Yes.
at that stage, I'm feeling calm. I want to milk it with my entirety.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. And in that way, when you are experiencing life in that way, you allow things to come to you. You are not putting your foot on the accelerator and needing to get to that which is going to be the next thing that you experience. You can let it comfortably arrive in your space.
Yeah. So comfortably, if it's my desire to become a master, comfortably, the right circumstances, the right vibration, the right techniques will come to me as a result of focusing on the calm and milking the calm with my entirety.
Yes. Calm is a lovely place to be. It's a very peaceful place. And when you have inner peace, you have everything that you need.
So, what's a good way of practicing the calm vibration while you're with others? Like, I tend to get nervous around people,
Yeah.
and I could still not be engaged in the conversation and be tending to my vibration. But sometimes it's good to engage in the conversation as well.
Yeah.
But when it's not good to, then you could go back to recenter yourself to the calm vibration.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
depending on who the person is.
yes. Well, when you are practicing by yourself, accessing the calm vibration, what you want to do is you want to feel for it in a specific location within your physical body where the calm is most easily accessible by you. And you know right where it is, and you can go there and instantly activate it when you are in a place by yourself and it is easy for you because of the circumstances of your life in that moment. But as you put yourself in different circumstances of your life, like being around other people who may disrupt that feeling, not intentionally, but just by their presence and whatever it is that they've got active in their vibration, they may disrupt it. But you can go back more easily by pinpointing within your physical body, where do you get the calm sensation most vividly within yourself? Where is the experience the most dramatic within your physical beingness? And then you just have to place your attention there when you're in the presence of another.
And it would help to be more, give it more time and actually pinpoint it down to the thing, then rather than saying, yeah, it's in my solar plexus, without actually giving it any awareness.
Well, yes, but there is going to be a place within yourself that it's more easily accessed on a regular basis. So yes, if you just say it's in my solar plexus, so I just have to focus on my solar plexus and not actually feel it, then you're not really accessing it. You're just putting your attention on your solar plexus. But if in practicing accessing the calm, you realize that it is more centralized in your solar plexus than anywhere else, then when you intend to access it while you're in a group setting or with one other person even, you go to your solar plexus and you feel into it and you feel for the calm and you simply activate it.
Okay, and I remember from the creators, the last channeling session, you said, feel for the subtleties of it. Now, calm, I could feel even more than the subtleties of it, because it's more easier to access calm. But still, you could feel for the subtleties if you want to start there, right?
Yes.
And you also said, don't make it a fleeting thought, because fleeting vibration, because if it's only a vibration and it gets diluted with a few seconds, it's like I want it, but it's kind of like that. If you keep diluting it, then you're going nowhere after every 5 seconds. So you keep contradicting it. So you want it to be not a fleeting thought, more airtime. And
Yes.
you also said when you're activating it, first your imagination takes you there, your imagination, so you feel like what it feels like to be calm, how the entire universe is calm right now, and you
Yes.
feel the entirety is calm within you,
Yes.
and you just feel it. you may even speak it out loud, like I'm speaking it right now, and describe it, and you feel the calmness. And right now, I feel it most in my crown chakra, as opposed to uh, my my solar plexus, like I was saying. Uh,
Yes.
but I believe that when you say utterly calm, utterly ease, utterly clear, it always, for me, it always resides in my uh, crown chakra when I say it's utterly this way, this frequency, this vibration. Uh, but if I just say the word ease, it be somewhere else. If I say utterly ease, then it's going to be within my crown, most likely. I still have to feel for it, but I feel that like the other emotions are within my crown. So you use the imagination, and once you feel the vibration, then you could go to the vibration first. This is where I get stuck sometimes. Uh,
Yes.
so it's a sensation. How do you activate that sensation without without speaking the descriptives or feeling the imagination of the universe is calm entirely within you, without speaking those words, without imagining it? How do you go straight to the vibration?
Well, again, with practice, it becomes easier. With practice, you don't need the words or the imaginings to get there. But as you are training yourself, like a master would train a student, you are training yourself to do that and to have that automatic experience. Sometimes you can use these bridges that you build for yourself that include an image or even a sound and certainly a mantra that you can speak. But once you get there, you really want to feel it more so than continue repeating it or continue imagining it, because when you feel it, you are it. You become it. Imagining something is still placing it there to be somewhat of a distance between you and the thing you're imagining. But as you feel something, you become it. It becomes you. You merge, and energetically, then you are offering that vibration.
Okay, I what do you do when you locate that sensation or vibration? Let's say it's in my crown, with those words or with those imaginations. What do you do next? What's the next steps?
Well, the next step is to enjoy it. In other words, if you activate a vibration that you want to experience, then allowing yourself to just experience it is its own reward. It doesn't have to go any further than that. Now, of course, you do a lot of this work because of what you want to experience in the external world as well, but you don't have to worry about whether or not the external world is hearing you or whether or not it is creating what the experiences that you want to have that are of that vibration. It is automatic. You don't have to steer the ship at that point into the experiences that are a vibrational match to what you're feeling. So we suggest that you just luxuriate in the experience of what you've created in that moment, because in that moment the vibrational state of being is your creation, and that's something worth enjoying.
Yeah, but sometimes I find that when I stop, like right now, I stopped describing what other calm is. I stopped describing what it was. So once I stopped speaking, and once, like, it lasted for maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds, how do I continue that vibration to emanate within my body, that sensation? How do I continue for it without the words? So I located it, or do I continue with the words and with the describers and imaginations until I can do it without it?
Yes, until you can do it without it. Once the descriptions and the imaginings, once all of that activates the vibration within you, then all of your focus can go on feeling what that feels like, the sensation of that vibration as you focus there. You then hold it, and you don't need anything else unless by taking your attention off of what you're imagining or what you're saying, then you lose it because you need that in order to help you to get there. And so for as long as you need to utilize those steps in order to create the sensation of that vibration, continue to do so, but eventually you're going to be able to let them go, and you're going to be able to just feel the sensation of whatever vibration it is that you want to experience, and that's going to be its own reward.
Okay, so I'm training for the mastery, and it may take, for the short term, I may sometimes after, just as an example, after doing the imagination and the describing words of it, I may feel the sensation, and then I could hold it after the 10-minute mark, as an example,
Yes.
and I could just feel it within my being and just be it and merge with it, right?
Yes.
So that's short term. So after 10 minutes of just imagining it, it's within my body. I feel it. I enjoy it. I feel the vibration to its fullness, the utter calm vibration, right?
Yeah.
So now that's short term, but long term is eventually I won't even, or maybe I still need, like after maybe 30 days, another example, it may be longer, maybe shorter, of practicing this, I might be able to do it without the imagination, or maybe I still need
Yes.
the imagination, but I only need it for like 10 seconds this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll just be able to go there directly.
Yeah.
Just with the intention. Just by holding the intention. If you just hold the intention right now to experience joy, is it able to come up within you? Or then do you need something to get yourself into that state?
I'm vibrating right now, like my head's moving up and down.
Yes.
What is that?
You're sensing our energy.
Okay. And sometimes I do guided meditations, and the same sort of things happen. My head is moving and spinning, and I've heard Daniel say that before channeling, if that's my aim, to get into a good place within your life, be centered, be so. I am there, but like, I think I should create a further base uh, before channeling. But like, my question is, I channel with head movements
Yes.
and blocks of thoughts as well. So like before spelling out the word, I could sense what the word is, or
Yes.
sense, yeah. So how do I know if it's an authentic channeling source, or if it's just it feels like authentic channeling source, but if you're not in the right state, you could be just channeling something out there that's maybe weird or
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, you are correct about that.
yeah.
It could be. So the question then becomes, what does the channeling itself feel like to you as you look it over? So if you are writing it down or recording it in some way, and then you go back to it and you observe it from a different state of being, your channeling state of being is a different state of being from the state of being that you're in when you're not channeling. So as you look at it, as you review it from that state of being, does it speak to you? Does it sound true? Does it look and feel true? Does it have positive information within it? Or is it something that you feel is less than energetically speaking, less than what you thought you were tapping into when you were channeling?
So most of it was positive, but then I got OD or ODD, which I Googled and I got gap junction protein and a stock symbol out of it. But that's the only thing that could be positive, could be negative. I don't know.
It could
But
also be that when something doesn't make sense to you that you channel, like that, when it's not a normal word that is easy for you to translate, it's also very possible that the beings that you were channeling in that moment were simply working through the kinks of you translating them, helping you to move through the experience of channeling, which, again, it's like learning a language. So there's a certain amount of mastery involved in learning a language or learning to play an instrument musically. And one of the ways in which, when you're early on in your channeling, one of the ways in which you're going to do that is just by allowing certain fragments of words to come through, or sounds, or light language, or some other form that doesn't necessarily make sense to you. You see?
yeah, and also my head shakes very fast, or I go in swirling motions very fast. That's just the kinks, right?
That's your body getting used to the energy. They'll become less extreme than that, the movements. You'll be able to handle the energy physically much better as you continue on, as you acclimate to it.
Okay. Now the next question is: I've heard one of the channels through you say that the evil, and I'm not exactly sure. It might not be. They said the dark side of you is I know what they did say. They said without dark you can't see the light. So
Correct.
uh, so they were talking about darkness, and they were talking about you may need your dark energy towards. I'm not sure exactly what they said, but they said like the dark energy is creating with 5D or something, and dark energy, like let's say you needed a bunch of energy at once.
Yes.
If you were the dark energy, if you is there to assist you somehow. I'm not exactly sure what they said, but yeah. So do you know anything along those lines, or?
Yes, well, we understand how everything serves you, whether it's from the light or from the dark. The dark is often use to help you define the light, to help you reach for the light, and to help you experience the light, and therefore it serves a purpose. It also can be a catalyst for you, or an inspiration for you to create something out of the darkness that shines a light on something and makes it more beautiful. So you feel yourself rising up from the depths and bringing your light from the dark, because you know now what it's like to experience an opposite of something. And when you know what the opposite of something is like, it's easier for you then to reach for the other end of the extreme.
Okay, so I did Jerry Sargent's guided Star Magic Healing guided meditation. It's one of them in particular asked of you to imagine darkness as well. Like in the imagination, they're getting you in the guided meditation. They're trying to get you to visualize the vibration or the embedded vibration within the guided meditation and your perception of the dark.
Yes.
And they are also getting you to get the good vibration. But do you understand that? Or he has a bunch of meditations, and most of them are just focused on the positive and getting you vibrating in a really, really fast vibration. But this one in particular is dark and light. And he said that's where the oomph is at. When you feel your darkness and your lightness, because
Yes, when you feel that the two can coexist at the same time, then you're in balance, and then you don't need to snuff out the darkness. You don't need to eliminate it in order to feel safe as a being who has both dark and light within him. And when you don't need to snuff it out, you're not afraid of it, then it loses its energetic charge and it loses its power over you, and it remains as a choice, but not as something that you need to play with anymore. You see.
Mostly I'm not fearful, but sometimes some fear does come within me about evil entities or spellcasters, but like I know there's no assertion as well. So could you speak on that a little?
Well, yes. So ironically or paradoxically, you often put yourself on their radar as soon as you start to fear them. And so knowing that you have a fear, that the fear does at times come up within you, can be helpful, because you can let go of that fear by processing it, by feeling it, instead of just continuing to do what you've been doing and try to avoid the topic, or just ignore as best you can that which comes up for you. Instead, just allow yourself to feel into those emotions, knowing that as you feel them, you're clearing them, and then those beings don't have any access to you, because you're not activating your receptors to them through fearing them and fearing their ability to do something to you.
Okay, so now my next question is, how do you process those things, those emotions? So Benentino Massaro says, whenever you're getting in, whether it's fearful of spells or fear in general or any sadness, when you're instead of processing it, no, I don't know what he says, but he does say that whenever you're in sadness, love that sadness. Just
Yes.
love it. Yeah, just love it with your so.
Yes.
Is that how you process
Well,
it,
yes, you
or
process it first by accepting it, and then by embracing it, and then ultimately by feeling it and allowing it to be what it is. In other words, you don't have to change it, you don't have to transmute it, transform it, you don't have to run away from it, you just have to allow it to be what it is. And in your lack of fear of it, you demonstrate to yourself that you are more powerful than that experience, and that you are the love that you are offering to it. That's
okay?
who you really are, the love that you're able to transmit regardless of what you're feeling.
Okay, so step by step, you said accept it, embrace it, or which
Feel
ones
it.
are first? And how do you do it? Describe it like in detail, so I know how to process emotion. Do I just go right then and there, love it with my entire being?
Well, the first thing is you notice it. So the first thing is your awareness of the emotion.
Acknowledgement of your awareness.
Yes. And then, once you're aware of it, you could deny that it's there. You could try to run away from it. You could do a lot of things. But accepting it means just saying to yourself, all right, this is how I feel. You might even say it out loud, or say it to another person, or write it down, this is how I feel. And then, the embracing is the loving. The embracing is the saying, all right, this is where I am, and I can love myself through this process by accessing the love that is within me, and I can love this experience that I'm having, this state of being. I can love that as well by, again, accessing who it is I really am, and feeling that. Feeling that at the same time that you are feeling the emotion itself. The so-called negative emotion needs to be felt. It needs to be allowed to exist. And as you feel it, you move through it. It moves through you. It's no longer attached to you energetically, because you're demonstrating to yourself that you're not afraid of it. You see.
So love it while letting it exist within you. So not trying to get rid of it, just loving
Correct.
it. Just loving it with all.
But you can know also at the same time, you can know that you are releasing it as you love it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not something that you would choose for yourself. It's just something that you have to experience as a part of this ascension process. You just have to put yourself in front of every possible third dimensional experience so that you can move on.
So whenever it does occur, let it occur. Then you don't go for, don't seek it out when you're within.
Correct. You don't have to go looking for trouble.
Okay. And it will automatically occur again if you're not done processing it.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. You will encounter it again.
Okay. And let's see. So you said intention is what activates it. I don't, and when I try to intend sometimes, I'm intending with effort, and that's a wrong way to intend. You should intend effortlessly. I use overlays as well. Sometimes I use the non-strain overlay, but like obviously I'm trying to go for a emotion that I might not be able to. It's a part of mastering it, so I might not be able to. I'm realizing now that realizing now that I'll learn it as I go. Just tend to my calm, be married to my calm vibration for now, but like I still don't get the intention part. Sometimes when I intend, um, I I it's like it's the intention makes it stuck for the activation to be activated when I intend sometimes. So I breathe and intend.
Yes.
Now I probably could do it because I'm talking to you and I'm already in a high vibration.
Yes.
So, but like it's a distance as well, right? And it's what you're going for too. Calm should be the initial thing
Yes.
you're going for.
Very.
Yeah,
It's very natural. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So how, about the intention,
Yes.
like, just in case give me some pointers on intention.
Well, what comes before intention?
Your thought, your focus, maybe
Your desire. Yes.
your desire. Okay.
So you're sitting around and you have a desire to have an experience, and let's say that experience is one of joy.
Yeah.
And so automatically, after you have the desire, you have the intention to then feel it and experience it. So it's that light of a movement. It's that delicate of an experience. The desire is actually stronger than the intention. Then when you have the intention, then you start to wonder what you can do to make it happen. And that's the part that comes, that's where the trying and the struggling can come in, is where you are wanting to do something to make it happen. Where the intention's much lighter than that. The intentions you could say, I intend to feel joy, and then just let it go. But it's what you do after that that really determines the path to the joy that you seek. So if you very subtly and without a lot of effort just go within yourself and check in and say, do I have access to joy right now? Where can I most easily access that joy? And you put your attention on your heart or your solar plexus or wherever it is that you're guided to go. Then your joy can start to reveal itself to you.
So at the start, it's going to be even with joy, but I feel like I'm going to start with calm first. But even with joy, if I were to do it right now, so to activate it, I first have to get the imagination because I'm not at that mastery level where I could I might be right now, but like let's just do it for sake of because I'm not going to be at this high vibration all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm going to want to activate it, or sometimes I'll be inspired. That'll be even better. But let's say I just feel like feeling joy right now, and right now I'm in a high vibration. But let's say I wasn't, but I was pretty calm. I was in neutral, maybe a little less than neutral. But so I would use my imagination first because right now I'm not at that 30-day mark. So I would use my imagination and maybe think of all the joy. Like I like to one-up it because I like to do it in the most intensive fashion because that really gets an emotion stirred up with me. So what does the intensest, the biggest, the rawest of joys feel like to me? Like, how does it feel? So I'm feeling it right now in my crown, right?
Yes.
So if I'm feeling it, I'm experiencing it, I'm savoring it. So I used my imagination there.
Yes.
Did I also use my intention there?
Well, your intention was, yes, it was active. It was activated even before you went to activate the joy.
Okay. So, but I use my intention with thoughts and imagination. Eventually, I'll be able to use my intention just with the vibration and
Correct.
breathing.
Yes.
So
You just focus yourself right into it. You just say, all right, I'm focused on joy. And you realize that focusing on joy means focusing on a vibration. And as you focus on a vibration, it takes over. It just becomes you and you become it.
So another thing I gathered from your channelers is heart-based, heart-centered. I don't know how to do that. Someone taught me, imagine a green space within your heart, and you just are in this green space in the world of your heart, and that's all you see, your heart center. And now you're in your heart center, and feel from there. Feel from your heart center. So that's one process I used. Could you give me some processes to be heart centered and feel the information within my body, feel the frequencies, and be able to, even from the slightest vibration, whether it's down or up, be able to tune that dial to a higher vibration by sensing within my heart. Yeah, I went slightly down. So how do I go up? Do the opposite of that, or whatever the sensation was. Just tune it the other way. Or I went slightly up. How do I go even more slightly up? How do you feel all that information with your heart?
Yes, well, one way is to start meditating with your hands placed over your heart and to put your awareness there. Just to focus right there in the middle of your chest and connect with your heart. By putting your attention there, by focusing all of your awareness there, your heart then begins to connect with you as well. So you're connecting with your heart is connecting with you. It becomes easier and easier for you to move down that two-way street as you focus on the actual position of your heart in your physical body.
And the heart is the most information sensing.
Yes.
Is it the chakra, or is it the center, or is it the organ, or is it both?
Well, you have the heart chakra, which is biggest.
Okay.
Then you have the heart organ, which is the next biggest. And then you have the heart center, which is the smallest of the three. So you go to the center of the heart organ to feel for a sensation, a light, something that feels like it's divine, it's otherworldly, it's expansive and connecting you to all other beings at the same time.
So go to the center of my heart chakra right now.
Yes.
And also, Jerry Sargent said, go feel within your heart portal, which he probably meant the same thing as this.
Yes.
Feel within your heart vibration, your heart portal.
Yes. Yes.
What makes Star Magic so powerful? His healing technique.
What makes which healing technique?
Star Magic Healing by Jerry Sargent. he uses a healing technique. Do you know what makes his healing technique so powerful?
His belief in it. In other
Okay.
words, the energy that he puts into it is strong and it's powerful, and those of you who resonate with it are able to pick up on that. You're able to pick up on his vibration around it. If he didn't really believe in it, then it wouldn't really be that powerful.
Okay.
Yes.
And which healer do you think is? Do you think he's the best healer? I've worked with Adam Fulmer. I worked with Jerry Sargent, and there's other healers out there too that I'm interested in. Which healer do you think would be best suited to work with?
Well,
I'm my best healer. I get
yes,
that.
you do get that. And then whichever one you feel that you resonate with in any moment. So in one moment, one healer may be a better match for you than in another moment. It's not that because you're not going to be in the same place all the time energetically, different healers are going to appeal to you more, and you're just going to have to listen to your own guidance on that one as to which healer you want to select to work with at any particular time.
Okay. And let's see. So So when you were saying heart center, meditate on your heart center, how would I meditate? Would I just place my hands on my heart and then do what? Which,
Meditate is focus. So meditation is synonymous with focus. As you focus your awareness on your heart, you are meditating on your heart.
okay. And you said there's three different things. There's the heart chakra, which is the entire heart chakra. And then there's the heart organ, which is just the heart organ. And
Yes.
what's the heart center?
The heart center is the light that exists within the center of your heart,
Heart chakra or organ?
heart organ and heart chakra both, because it's central to both.
Is it in both or is it
It
like in?
is, yes, because the heart organ is in the heart chakra. The heart center is in the heart organ. So therefore, logically, the heart center must be in both.
Okay, so is it one place that resides in?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. It is. And as you focus there, what you can feel is the warmth, the sensation of source energy, the sensation of your infinite nature. And as you feel that flickering flame of light causing you to expand in every moment, giving you access to all dimensions, all other beings, you feel complete and whole in your heart center. Accessing
So,
the heart center is the most powerful thing you can do.
okay.
It's a
So,
guide. It will guide you. It's your intuition. It's how you channel. You connect through the heart center.
it can give you information about everything.
Yes.
Um, and that information is going to be more of a sensing type of information, but it could also be more specific, right?
Well, yes. And of course, sensing, like we were saying, sensing who you want to work with next as a healer, that gives you all the information that you need just by sensing it.
Yeah.
But if you want a longer answer, like how many planets are inhabitable by humans in the galaxy or something like that, then you're going to have to intuit a number.
And the heart will give you that too, right?
Yeah.
Intuitively feeling for it. So you said the heart chakra is number one, as in being most powerful, followed
Heart
by the
center.
heart center is most powerful, then
Yes.
heart organ, then heart chakra.
Well, using the heart chakra as a means of drilling down into the heart and the heart center is its real value to you. In other words, you can see the heart chakra itself as an extension of the heart center, as the heart center. As you imagine a bubble, as you imagine a child blowing a bubble, and the more that is infused into the bubbly substance, the more air infused, the bigger it gets. And then you have something as big as a heart chakra. But it starts out very small as a bubble, and it expands. The heart center expands, which gives you the sensation of what it's like to have a heart chakra, which contains more experiences within it of your love life, you could say, as your ability to love and give and receive love is experienced throughout all lifetimes. The love itself comes from the heart center.
So the heart center is where it comes from, the love, and then
It is
expands.
love. The heart center is love, you see.
Okay.
And the more you love, the more you focus on love, the more you experience love, the bigger that energy becomes, and the more powerful, the cleaner, the clearer it becomes, and therefore the easier it is for you to have loving relationships with other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the heart center is where. What's the okay, which one is the most intensest?
The heart center.
Followed by. So automatically, I should just go to heart center, but just out of curiosity, what's in second and what's third out of the organ and the chakra?
Intense meaning what to you? Does intense mean?
You could feel the most love from.
Oh, yes. Well, then certainly the heart organ would be second and the heart chakra would be third. The heart chakra tends to pick up a lot of blockages as well over time,
Okay.
which clouds then the experience of the heart center. So the heart center then must be filtered through the heart chakra, which is carrying all the experiences from all of your lifetimes of love and light and all the different relationships and ways in which you've had to relate to yourself, and all of that is stored there in the heart chakra. As you focus more on your heart center and you allow the light of your heart center to shine more and more brightly, then everything that is of a lower frequency, that is dense and that has the ability to block something in the heart chakra will get burned away, so to speak. It will melt. And then you will have a purer expression. So then your heart chakra becomes a pure expression of your heart center, of who you really are. And other people can pick up on that more easily because the heart chakra is that extension of the heart center that is, when it's pure, it's felt by other people. They feel the love that you are. They feel the love coming off of you. They're attracted to that love.
So how do I become more heart-centered? You said to meditate on the heart and practice, 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 right? And so, like, give me ways, more tips on the heart center and how to be. You said that's the most powerful
Yes.
thing.
Well, let's say you're in your head about something. You're thinking about it, you're mulling it over, you're contemplating it, or you're in the midst of a conversation with someone else, and the two of you are going back and forth and back and forth. In the moment that you realize the futility of the thought that you're engaged in, as you realize that it's not actually serving you to continue this line of thought, then you, in that moment, that's your cue to shift your attention to the heart center. And you put your attention on the heart center. You feel the warm glow within it. And you're there, and suddenly everything shifts. Suddenly the thoughts that you're thinking are different. Suddenly the words that you're speaking to the other person are different. You shift from the mind to the heart, from the ego to the higher self, to the singular, from the singular to the collective.
When you're there, you're totally there, right? You're not still residing in your mind, or could it be a little bit of both, like
Well,
5%?
a wonderful use of the mind is to get you to focus on the heart center. That is ultimately one of the strengths that the mind brings you, is an ability to focus.
Okay, and the heart center is located in the center of the organ and the
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and that's just dead center in your chest, right?
Dead center, yes.
Okay. Um, would you like to tell me anything?
We would like to tell you how impressed we are by you. In other words, the amount of work that you're doing on yourself, the amount of focus that you're putting on these subjects, these most important subjects of how to vibrate, where things like the heart center are located, these are showing to us just how far you've come on your journey and just how close you are to mastery. So we are very impressed by you. We are very impressed by the questions that you ask, the way in which you are applying what we are giving you, and the way that you are studying this information to bring yourself to a higher frequency state. And so we are very confident in your ability to continue to raise your vibration and shift your energy to the fifth dimension, and then exist as you want to exist as your higher self.
What exactly is the fifth dimension, and what is ascension?
Well, ascension is the movement from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. The third dimension is a dimension that is dominated by separation, mind, and ego. So you've explored all that you can of that dimension. You've done everything to one another that you can possibly do, and you're moving to a place where in this fourth dimensional transitional phase where you can learn how to let go and forgive each other, where you can learn unconditional love and compassion for each other and for self. And as you do, you step into the fifth dimension where you know yourself as your higher self, as your heart, as a collective being, a being that has absolutely no separation from any other being. And then you begin to create your reality from that place, from that knowing. And reality becomes much different. It becomes much easier for you to navigate. Because you're not in... Third dimension is all about survival. And the fifth dimension is all about creating beauty and creating wonderful experiences and creating connections with other beings.
What do you feel about Abraham Hicks says to get into meditation and feel that detachment? It's the same thing as if I were to activate a calm vibration.
Yes.
So it's pretty much the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And then naturally let it occur. So do the vibrations, you're saying activate the vibration, and the thoughts will come accordingly with the vibration.
Yes.
You're not, sometimes, then I'm thinking, sometimes I was trying to activate a vibration with thoughts, and I'm doing it very good today with you,
Yes.
by one-upping it and by doing it with the intensest of fashions,
Yes.
profound knowing it, all these things that I have in my toolbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I so I get too heady sometimes, and
Yes.
and that's where, like, I, that's where it blocks me. I try to force it, and rather than, so how do I help? Well, I know what to do right now. I'm just near the distance, and I know to go for the calm. So it makes sense to me now. But like when I feel lost in activating, or what could I refer to? This whole session is filled with so much content, and
Yes.
yeah, I could just refer back to this, and
And you can refer to your heart center.
yeah, my heart center. That's where the most.
That's going to help you to calm yourself. That's going to help you to calm your mind. That's going to help you to focus. That's going to help you to receive the intuitive hits that you need to receive, the inspiration that you want to move in a particular action or a particular direction. It's going to bring you everything that you desire. That's why we say it's the most powerful thing that you can do, is to shift to your heart center, because when you do, you're operating as more of your whole self, more of your higher self, more of your fifth dimensional self, and that is the way of ease. That is the way of creating the life experience that you want to create effortlessly.
Okay. Do we have time? How long does it take for the toning? Overtones?
You want us to make more overtones?
Just one.
Just one? Yes, we can do that. With an intention?
Yeah, with the intention of heart-centered and just being totally heart-centered.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Focus on your heart right now as you listen. If you want to make tones like that yourself from that inspired place. Put your attention or your awareness on your heart center and hold the intention for yourself to create a sound that represents the energy that you are connected to in the heart center.
Okay.
Yes.
So our time is up.
Very good. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Hey.
Hey. Yeah, that was good.
Good. Yeah, you're bringing a lot of really great information through with the questions that you ask. So I really enjoyed, listening in on the session myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was.